Okay, so there's a few things that are standing out to me. One thing is I think it's a good reason to stay friendly with your exes and stuff. And I have met so many people who can't get along with their ex, and it becomes like a problem at weddings and stuff. Not to say that we haven't had that, you know, like we've evolved into being friends, but I think it's a smart thing to do because, like, I'm getting a little vacation here. This is so cool. I'm so excited. One of the things, though, like our conversations, and I just sidestep around. I'm not gonna argue. Like, we had that life. I'm not doing that again. And so I'm not going to argue. He can have his opinion and I'll listen to it, and that's perfectly fine. But we have very, very different opinions. And it's really clear. Like, we were never in alignment like that. We were always two totally different people well, there was a reason we came together. I know that. I mean, and that's, I have my kids with them. So I know that, there's a reason behind things, like in our soul journey or whatever. And, he taught me a lot, like that I needed to like myself. So anyways, but some of the stuff, this is what trips me out, is like he's very into nature and growing, and he's totally into communicating with the trees and stuff like that. But then it's like there's something happens there. It's like, because you can't cross into everything is real, then everything is live. And there's a spiritual universal knowledge around us. And I've tried to say a few things, to try and, but he always just kind of looks at me like, okay, like, but I don't understand how he doesn't see it, but there's just some things that are very not in alignment to me. So you take somebody, and this is the thing with this waking and how long it's been going on. Like, it's been going on a long time, and how multi-level it is. Like, you have to heal whatever it is to get to the next level. And I had just heard somebody saying that. She was telling somebody, her people that she talks to, and she was saying, like, she's gone through 2 levels now. And she said, it's like, I had to heal some stuff to get to the other part. And it's like, yeah, it is. You have to heal some stuff, because then you're ready for the next part. And the next part, like what I was saying the other day, it comes in as you're ready for it. But you have to constantly be opening yourself up. And you have to open yourself up to the stuff you don't already know. Because so many people think, well, I know, it's what I know, and I know that that's going to hold some people's back. And that's ego. That's ego work. So that is something that holds people back, is them thinking they've got all the answers. You have to ask questions. You have to be a seeker of knowledge. You can't just think you have all the answers. And so that's part of this awakening, is opening yourself up to, you don't have all the answers. Like, we all have a little piece of things. And that's why unity is important, because we come together with all this different knowledge. And how I talked about how I see it so much more vast now, to the point of different DNA of different beings that have created mankind, that all of these different knowledges is what we have to bring together. We are the hope of the future of this solar system. Like, what is happening here is really profound. And it's crazy to see how some people react. And, I was really thinking about this too. So I'm going to be all over the place with this one, I'm sure, because I've had, I'm not used to sitting like this on this couch. One of the things, being in California, down in Southern California, and sitting out on the beach and listening to these people just all so shallow and so, like, just looking for the next party, and just not, you know, and I couldn't believe the way people lived and stuff. Like, I moved from Southern California like 30 years ago. So, you know, it's only gotten worse. I mean, I know there's been a lot of people who have left California, but still, the traffic's crazy and what people will go through. Like, to go to a job and then spend 2 hours on the road each way, you know, just sitting there, wasting your gas. Like, it just is ridiculous. And it's like they all want to be close to, you know, Jack in the Box and Applebee's or something. So they got to stay right there. You know, they can't go out and figure out how to take care of themselves or go away from where the, you know, local bar is. Even though in most communities, a little tavern pops up where a little meeting place of the people who like to go and drink and hang out, play pool, whatever, play darts. One of those pops up in every community, usually more than one, depending on, you know, if they can stay in business. If one gets really full, another one will pop up. And so it just is part of the development of community. It's not like you have to stay close to a city or you'll never be in a bar again. And you will go to a bar in a smaller community where you'll actually know people, like on Cheers or something. You know, you go in, hey, how are you? And I know there's little places and some people have that already, but you know, that's not the typical bar scene in America. The typical bar scene in America is like shots, 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 and, you know, how drunk does somebody get and how many people are they going to go sleep with and stuff. It's very, you know, swinger club kind of, you know, just go out and hook up kind of situation. And then you get these girls who just get themselves like obliviously drunk so that they go, oh, I was so drunk, I don't know what I did. Oh my God, you know. So they want to take responsibility. So many people don't want to take responsibility. They don't want to look at their own actions. I was just talking to my one daughter earlier, and she's got a situation she's going through. And she's having these epiphanies, and she's like, I just don't get why I'm always the one who's got to be so perfect, and why I've got to hold it together. Why can't I ever just fall apart? It's like, these are the things that are coming to the surface. These are the things for you to look at. This is the birdcage you built for yourself. These are your rules that you put on yourself. This is the time for you to question those rules. Whose rules are you following? Why are you following rules? Who are you trying to please? Who are you trying to make happy by following the rules? Like, you're here to learn and experience. They created rules. They created laws. They created this stuff to keep us confined. And I do see a point of it, like when you really acknowledge the fact that it's pretty variable, a different conscious level of some people. I mean, some people are just definitely on autopilot. They're just here for the 3D experience. They just want to go and do whatever. And they're not here for the ascension. They're not here to be enlightened. They're not here to grow. But definitely, you know, you're like talking, because Miss Stella's been walking around. Now she's resting because she's just been walking around and walking around. She's doing so much better. Oh my gosh, she's doing so much better. Or she's still super droopy on the one side, but she's walking downstairs. She's walking all over. She's staying a lot more. She does get in some like little circles and some, but it's hugely improved already. So I'm going to just keep working on her detox and keep her little thing on her collar and put some in her bed and stuff. I just feel like she's just going to keep getting better and better and better. And I feel really good. Like, except there's something with my eyes, like doing the drive coming up, and when I would go past the towers and stuff, and they would just all of a sudden start burning. Well, I've had that happen twice, just being here. All of a sudden, it just started burning. It's, oh my God, it's so horrible. And so I was like, oh my gosh, you know, because I was really focused on my intention of healing my eyes. And so I don't know if it's just really turned up here. I know that there's tons of toxins here. So, you know, I don't know if and there's something about getting all of the toxins out. Like, I have gone to the bathroom a bunch of times, and Stella has gone to the bathroom a bunch of times. And I know when I was listening to that one video thing, she said there's a lot of getting all the toxins out of your body, and that's why you got to do the salt soaks and stuff. And so your body will go into this thing. And so I don't know, maybe some of these is stuff in my eyes coming? I don't know, but it is horrible. Like, man, it's horrible. Like, I'm kind of freaked out about driving. Like, if it's going to keep doing this, I was like, sure, it was just once I got out of California, and I still got a ways to go to get all the way out. So, yeah, no, it just is. This place is so annoying. Like, with Newsom and Nancy and stuff. But another thing too is, like, he's a Californian who believes the stuff. And that's where I'm not gonna argue. I'm not, climate change is real. That that California's super progressive, and we'll be the first ones with electric cars because the petroleum, the oil, all the stuff he was saying. Well, he doesn't understand the technology. And see, this is part of the problem too, is when this all first started. Because I came up here because his brother-in-law's been falling down. And I think they're all at triple. Maybe more. I think that they just now are doing the fourth. So I think everybody, and both my brothers are sick right now. My one brother is not getting better. He said he just keeps getting worse. He's having really horrible problems. The firefighter one. And my other brother now, he's going to go on chemo now. Suddenly he's got an upper respiratory infection. And I don't know if he's positive or negative, but he's sick. All these people keep being sick. Me and my mom haven't been sick. We didn't do any of these. We just focused on trying to eat right. Like, we share recipes, and I'm constantly sending her all this holistic stuff. And she got a book about what weeds you can eat and foraging and all that stuff. And now I just ordered one too. So we're going in that direction. Like, this is the split I see. Like, the division. It's like the science God or the natural creator. The natural creator, also, though, the biggest part of the division is the people who are waiting for Jesus to come and save them, because they're spiritual, but on a religious kind of platform, and they're really waiting for someone to come and save them. They really believe this. And science thinks they are the savior of the world. Like, science is the God, like, thank God for science, because God sucks and science is great. So, and when this all first started, and I started trying to tell my kids, and suddenly it was like, I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about these, which, they're all still wearing them. They're all still wearing them. So I had said, when that first started, I said, that's not what they're for. And I got told I just didn't understand viruses and stuff. I was like, okay, well, I went to school for this stuff. I worked in this field, so I kind of think I know more than everybody else. And it's like, so you guys could think like, oh, this is what I do, and I know this person's lying, and we should all trust you, but I do it. And suddenly it's like, okay, crazy. This is what I've been dealing with this is going 3 years now, right? Because we'll be 20, this is 2.5 years. Or is it? I don't know. All 2020, 2021, 2022. We're in 2022, right? So 2.5 years. This freaking nonsense of like, I'm crazy and I don't know shit. So, but the ones that are here, they're the scientists. So he was petroleum. He worked for Chevron, a scientist, and went all around the whole world speaking. And I don't even know all this stuff, but he's very respected and stuff. And she worked in a lab under the guy who got his hand blown off by the Unabomber. She worked for him. They were working on isolating the DNA for Down syndrome and Alzheimer's, I believe. But anyways, they were doing stuff like that. So everyone in the family decided they were the brilliant minds. They all listened to them. I even tried to send information when it very first started and said, hey, ask Elaine about this. Like, what about this? And I don't think anybody ever did. It's like, came from Kelly. Who cares about that? she's just talk crazy. She's just going to dig up crazy shit. And so, you know, I never heard anything, but I was like, okay, because Judy, you can't say her name, she was a lab person too. So I thought, oh, we'll be talking like the same language, but never got that far. So they were saying, I mean, they went full on into fear thing. And the thing to me that backs this up is science, God. This is your only time here. This is it. You get this little time. Anybody who thinks like anything happens beyond this, life and death, you're just like a plant. You just cease to exist. They don't understand about energy. They don't understand about souls, consciousness, and stuff like that. Even when I try and say anything about that, it's just like, oh, poor Kelly. She's just so crazy. I was like, okay, we'll see. And so then they were, you know, they were all in deep fear. Like, it became a huge thing for all this time. I don't even know how they're thinking about things right now. I mean, they're not here yet. They want me to wait until they get back before I leave. And they come back Tuesday night, and I don't know what time. So I don't know if I'll stay Wednesday then to hang out and visit with them and then leave Thursday morning. Maybe what I'll do. But anyways, so I don't know, you know, how they're looking at things. To me, it seems like they're not seeing anything that I'm seeing. They don't know anything about the stuff I know about. They have a narrative that they're clung to. And so it's been strange because I've been outside and walking around with Stella and stuff, talking to him, and like he'll be talking about some things and he'll see straight through it, completely crystal clear. Then you go to another subject and it's just like, nope, climate change is real, and you know, the reason why there's so many sick people is, what did he tell me? It is, because it is redefining itself. It's, what is that called? It's getting stronger and better. This Dovik, it's what is that called when it keeps making itself better and better? So it's just getting so much stronger. People just can't keep up. So they would 4, 5, 6, whatever, until you just drop over and can't take anymore. But maybe they'll just keep practicing on you. They'll hook you up to a little electron, or they'll gel you and just spray you on the food so we can all eat you and consume you. So, you know, some of the stuff, it was just like, yeah, but I didn't say anything. I'm not going to sit and argue. And he was saying the reason people are so unhealthy is because they don't understand about fruits and vegetables, and they don't want to spend the money on them. And I'm thinking of all the people I've talked to, the biggest problem why people don't go and get fresh fruits and vegetables is the price. So he was telling me that they've stopped selling certain things in certain places because nobody will buy them, and it just becomes waste. To me, lower the fucking prices. You know, shut down the goddamn Jack in the Boxes. Shut down the fucking McDonald's and Arby's and shit. Shut that shit down. Like, you want to talk about somebody killing people? Like, it's fucking nonsense. So, you know, but he seemed to understand that developers are destroying the world, that the corporations are, you know, our problem, the developers, corporations, but he still trusts all the 3-letter agencies. Like, they're there to help us to keep the corporations at, you know, oversee them. It's like, and I said, well, you know, that would have worked out real well, except for the people who are being overseen paid them, and the people who are those ones that are overseen would rather have a fat pocketbook than do what's right. So we got that problem. And he can recognize like greed as a big problem in this world. So there were so many things that we could talk about that he could see, but he's looking at it through the wrong window. Like, he's not seeing it clearly. And the same with this whole, you know, the whole family. And they're all into science as God and all that stuff. So, this is going to be something to watch this play out. Like, shit is coming to the surface. I don't know how long that this could drag out before the truth is going to come out. Like, with all of this stuff, with these, I mean, it's out all over the place, but somehow it's still being able to be repressed from the people who are not the seekers, the people who are just the trusters. We trust them. If it was important, we'd hear about it. Yeah, they would tell it on the news if it was important. We don't need to worry about that. It's like, you got a lot of stuff to see through. And when I was saying, because to me, part of the reason why people are so unhealthy is the feeding times. That really fucked people up, I think. Telling them, oh, you got to eat this meal, you got to eat this meal, you got to eat this meal, you got to eat this many things of this and this many things of that. Should have never done that. It should have always been listen to your body, and always been fresh fruits and vegetables everywhere. Like, we should be able to walk through towns and there be fruit trees and vegetable gardens and stuff. That's a productive society. This one we have now is just controlled. We're just the slaves. We're just controlled. They don't give a shit about us. The only thing that we are useful to them is the lab rat. That role for them is the only thing that is useful. And, they use us up just like they use up the planet. And they make people sicker and sicker and sicker. And and then they convince these people that, oh, no, it's the sickness. It's mutating. That's what it is. It's mutating. It's getting stronger. But don't you work on your immune system or anything like that. Just, throw one of these on, probably take a couple of these, and you'll be good to go. It's like, no, that's not how it works. And I keep saying, like, I told my one brother this morning, I asked, because my mom told me that the other brother now is sick. And it's like, oh, this is mentally exhausting. Like, your family just like, fuck, this one's sick, this one's sick, this one's sick. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. This is so stressful of time, man. And I know everybody's going through it. I know that every family has some people awake and some people who are not. And so I was thinking this morning, like, the ones who, because I've got several people in my family who see through certain things, but they just don't see through everything. It's like when I'm having conversations with him, like, he can see certain things, see them clearly and understand. But then other things, it's just like, no, it's just cut off. Like, can't cross over that hump. And so that, to me, this is just, my theory, is those people who are like that, who are working towards their awakening to the whole situation, they are, to me, they are here for that spiritual awakening. They're just, it's a lot of work. Because like that one girl said, you got to work on all this, you got to heal all this. And then you think, oh, man, I'm so enlightened. And then all of a sudden, boom, you're hit again. What? And then it's another one and another one. And then, you start just being in full communication all the time. Like when I told him, like, I don't know that because everybody, see, this is one thing that until this all started, I thought, like I've said before, I thought we were all living the same. I had no idea that everybody didn't have communication with the other side all the time. That's why I found it so confusing, like with some of my conversations, how I was always getting called crazy and stuff like that. Because I thought everybody had an acknowledgement of that there's communication going on in your head. I've just always had that. Like, I can tell it's not me coming up with these thoughts. To me, that's ego, arrogance. People who think like they're just, their brain's so spectacular, it's just coming up with thoughts. And it's like, that's not what your brain is. That's not what this place is. That's not what all of this is. That's just a three-dimensional, very limited way of looking at life. And so when, I said, it was shocking to me to start finding out people weren't living like that. They weren't in communication. And it kind of freaks me out. Like, how do people live? How do they think and stuff? And so to me, like, while I'm watching this and talking and listening to people and stuff, so it seems like that there is and not very many people want to acknowledge somebody speaking to them. And I don't know if it's because they think that that's going to mean they're crazy, or that they really are just so stuck in that they only have their thoughts, that there's no communication. And like, he's a spectacular farmer. Like, yeah, I've been out there, he's been giving me, I could record all of the stuff he's been saying. I'm learning a lot, and I don't even have a little farm, but like, he's somebody who could be teaching these people who are trying to go off grid how to grow and stuff. Like, he's telling me all sorts of stuff, and that's what you need, these old men with this knowledge, and pass it on. But see, that's what they want to keep us away from. They don't want us to be knowledgeable. It's one reason why they're trying to kill off the old people as fast as they can, is because they don't want the young people to have the old people's knowledge. Because that's how a society that is productive works, is all of the generations work together. And that's why they're so hard and heavy on keeping the genders divided, and keeping the generations divided. Like, they do all of it on purpose, and they're good at it, really good at it. I mean, just look around you and see what's going on. So to me, the ones who are on that journey, who are just noticing things and going deeper and thinking about things, I think they're on wherever it goes to. Like, I can't say every single person who is considering spirituality is going to be a part of the transition into the new age. I mean, that doesn't mean that they won't come right into it, that they won't turn around and just go right into it. I think it's going to be, kind of like a great destination for a while. I think a lot of different beings will want to be born into that reality, because I think it's going to be pretty magnificent. So I'm not saying, because someone transitions out, that they won't be there. I think, there will be a quick turnaround for a lot of people. But it seems like to me, there's a lot of people who are working on their spirituality and seeing things in a broader perspective, questioning things, trying to grow and understand themselves. And that is a part of what this whole journey, because you have to go through those steps to get to the new age, of not just this part of getting to the new age, to actually be in the new age. You have to be, like I said, you have to be healed. You have to have a higher vibration. You can't be out of balance and taking from other people. You have to be in that balance, giver, taker, teacher, learner. It's all about balance. And one thing too that he kept saying about a zillion times, like, oh, it's one thing I've learned as I've gotten older, there is no good or bad. It's like, yeah, there is no good or bad. And they've got people just stuck on good, bad, and fighting over it, and it's stupid. But, that's like, what are you going to do? You have second graders out there fighting over stuff. They got to work it out. They got to figure it out. Like, what are you going to do? We can't run around parenting them all. Like, they don't want to be parented. They want to get out there. I can't believe some of these people, their views on some of the stuff going on is just like, oh my gosh, that just sounds so wacky to me. Like, I don't get, like, some people, it seems, want to go more in the direction, like, let's just a place for women and a place for men. We don't need to even have a mix. Now, there's women apparently who want it to be every man has to get a vasectomy. Like, these people that, just constantly transitioning their kids, and they, like, none of them think this stuff through. Who's going to keep the race going? Like, all of y'all want to switch around, and who's going to keep humanity going? Who's going to keep mankind going? Who's going to keep the people going? You give up your right to procreate. You think these people are going to be, they're experimenting on people already. They're already changing people out of being human beings. You know what I mean? So, Stella, I'm right here. Still got a lot of confusion though. But anyways, to me, like, people who are working on it, to me, seem like they, even if they aren't awake to everything, it seems like they're headed in the right direction. And the people who, to me, are going to be a huge, big chunk of people transitioning out, are like those Southern California people who are just completely shallow, don't give a fuck, just, just want to party, just want to do drugs and drink and have sex and don't care about anything, like I got a cooler car than you kind of situation. Those people, to me, sound like the ones in the Anunnaki thing of like the ones that won't be going forward, the ones who won't be ascending. So, I don't know. But when I compare the two different types, like, I don't think you have to be awake to every single thing right now. Like, I think the awakening is really a complex kind of thing that is going. So anyways, I was just thinking about that today, especially after being down there and seeing all those people and then driving through all the chemicals and thinking like, these people's brains are already freaking burned up with these chemicals in these towers, because those towers were everywhere. And oh, she's so uncomfortable. Probably because she's just been walking and walking and walking and walking. But anyways, but I do think that people who are thinking, and are more open up, even if they seem super in ego and like they seem lost, and there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna be faced with some serious medical stuff, and that was what I faced. That's one of the things that was part of my awakening, was having a disability happen, and then having to save myself. And that's what all of these different people are gonna, the ones who are gonna find out about medical malpractice in a big hard way. So anyways, I guess I'll go feed her. But those were the kind of the things I was thinking just about. It's just trippy, like be talking to somebody and then have them see things that are just like, man, if you just go and look out this other window over here. But they're like, no, this window has got the best. Why would I go look at another window when this window's showing me everything I need to see? It's like, yeah, but it's not showing everything you need to see. There's a lot more to see. You've got a limited perspective here. But everybody's psyche has to open up at its own rate, its own speed. And there's a lot to absorb in. And so, any of the people in your families and stuff that are, I say we just got to keep on, just keep sending them the energy, because you can't get through to them with your words. Like, we just have to keep sending them the energy. But really, it's already predestined. There's nothing we can do about it. Each soul came in to learn what it came in to learn, and that's it. Each soul is contracted in. It's out of our control. And this is just going to be a mass amount of people that are going to transition. And, I think that is for sure. I think that there is going to be a huge amount of people that are going to transition. And I think the aftermath is going to be the healing, and then going into, we got to rebuild. We got to start making communities. Like, there's tons of people out there like me who are speaking like, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. But people can't hear it until they're in crisis. And so many people are just trying to hold it together with silly putty and just desperate to just get their lives back, like, it's like, but they just don't understand. This is a cycle. Like, he's sitting there telling me about climate change. You just don't understand. This is a cycle. This is a cycle of life. We are sitting out there talking about life cycles and plants and everything like that. But they just don't get it, because they don't have that spiritual core of looking at life through spiritual eyes. And what does life all mean? What is the purpose? Why are you here? Why are you going through these experiences? And it was really cool that my daughter was a lot more open to it when I was telling her. And I was like, the stuff you're going through right now is to bring stuff to the surface. You don't put all these rules on yourself. You're here to experience, to learn. If you just set yourself up with rules, you're just limiting your experience. And that's not what you're here for. That's not why humans are born into this world. You're here to learn and to experience. So that is, a very important part. And if you are limited, always like, oh, what are they going to think? Oh, I better do this, or they won't like me and stuff like that, then you're holding back your experience your expansion to try and please somebody else who doesn't really matter at all in your life. Is it in your orbit? How important is it? Because there should be nobody's experience that is more important to you than your own experience, your own growth, the things that you're going through. And so, yeah, I can't interfere with someone else's process. Like, the universe will take care of that. I'm not going to go around and argue and fight with people and try and convince them. I'm just like, okay. One thing is, as I sometimes think, is when some of these people all of a sudden find out and they're like, yeah, well, you act like you knew this before. Well, go listen to my channel then. If you think I didn't know this shit before that they ever fucking said it. Y'all couldn't hear me because y'all all thought I was crazy. So now you're going to find out. I knew all of this stuff that you're about to find out. But, it's to me, it's just because I know it has to do with, it's my mission. I'm supposed to see what I see. I'm supposed to talk about what I see. That's why it's shown to me. That's why it's so, and they're relentless. Like, if they show me something, then, and I don't go and talk about it, then they will continue to show it to me over and over and telling me what I need to go and say. So I say, okay, I'll go say it. I'll go do it. That's what they'll do. So anyways, but that's just, that's part of my mission. I think that's why I could hear them. Like, when I was a little kid, it was like, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, Kelly in there. That's what I feel like it is now that I look back on it. I feel like, oh, they were just preparing me for what is going on now. So, and I know a lot of people, there's a lot of us who are hearing it, a lot of us who are seeing it, a lot of us who are understanding what's happening, but we can't do any, we can't force anybody. But that's why I say it's like, we're just here to hold the lantern. We're here to kind of show people the way, but people have to start looking for the way, and that isn't quite here yet, and that is coming. And fuck, I swear, I really, really thought I would only be doing this a couple months. Never did I think. I mean, now this has just become a part of my thing. Like, I'm totally into it. I really love this. I love going on and talking about this stuff that's going on and the insights that they give me and talking about it. And I love the healing. I love the spiritual. I love this new connection that I have to life. It's super exciting, and I'm so excited for the future. And I know a lot of people are scared and think like everything is going to fall apart, but there is a lot of people who are, starting to build things up. Like, there is websites going up with trying to locate people for different communities, and like, they're ready to start building things. It may start out like with commune kind of living all over, and until it builds up and people are actually, I've seen guys out there now who are saying, hey, I just want to go out and start helping people build homes and, build farms, and like, let's just start doing this. And I know that people could just start doing it. They could just start going out and taking land, and the court system's going to fall apart, but they have a right in court. Like, you can just look up homesteading stuff. I'm sure it probably is in the Constitution or the Bill of Rights or something. They cannot be selling us. They can't decide they own the land and they're going to sell it to us. You don't own the earth. The earth isn't putting a for sale sign up there. Earth isn't telling us to pay for it. You controllers, you developers, you people who are just the fat cats wanting to make money off of all of the blood, sweat, and tears of the worker bees, But it's all changing, and those people, the shallow people who just don't care about humanity and don't care about other people, those are the people who won't be going forward. And I just don't know a lot of people like that. Most of the people I know do care about people, do care about humanity, do want to do better for themselves. They're just very misled. And I know that is a lot of people's families. So I think, that just the Southern California thing just got me thinking, because I know that there's certain areas, like when you compare of different experiences and different roles that people came here to experience in this awakening process, that some countries, some places were going to be hit much harder. And there was going to be a lot of transitioning in certain places. And I just kind of started thinking, because I think New York is definitely a tagged one for sure. Like, that has been over and over and over. Like, something bad's going to happen in New York. And I think in California too. And I'm not sure what part, but I think something bad is coming. There's just a huge population of really shallow people here. And so that to me shows like something's going to go on here. Something big's going to go on. So anyways, we'll see. Now she got quiet again. But she is doing better. I really think she's doing better. So we'll see how things go. You know, I mean, I have to be realistic until they get the real med beds out, the ones that the military ones, because I still say these ones, they're great. Like, I want one in my house. If I had that in my house, I'd be so happy. But they charge a lot, you know, there's some kind of slowness in the manufacturing them. So all those kind of things, I think, are going to be some of the changes we're going to go through. But I do think the military ones, you know, and I don't think that there's going to be charges like that. I think all of that kind of stuff is going to be going away, charging us for getting healthy. And, you know, I mean, I don't even understand people charging for information. Like, I understand if people make a product and they sell, like, you know, a lot of girls are selling like different healthy teas and stuff like that. Like, I get that. But these people who just want to keep selling their information, it's like, I don't know. I just think we gotta come together and, you know, work as a team. And all of humanity, the survivors will get that. It will click in. And the survivors, that is the group that will be in the new age, the seeders of the new age, the seeders of the age of Aquarius. They will be people who get it. And there could be some stragglers who are just trying to learn, but the whole thing will be is that they want to learn. They want to do better. Those ones. But the people who just don't give a shit about anything, you know, those ones, yeah, I think they're here for a different purpose, you know, and maybe it's to learn from that, and then they're just going to come back and be born somebody different, and maybe they're going to come back just as themselves. Like, I don't know. I mean, I know we're going into some pretty fantastic times. You know, when you think about consciousness and our learning our own abilities, and, you know, this is just a hologram anyways. It's not like, so when we can really start understanding our own consciousness, our own like lucid dreaming existence, you know, we would be able to walk through walls too. We'd be able to do all sorts of stuff. It's just learning that we can, and stop relying on limitations where they've told us you can't. That's crazy. That's not right. That's a lot to get over. But those are the things that we're going to be working towards. And, you know, I think when we get to a certain point, it's going to be pretty fucking cool to be alive. So we just got to get through this hard part. So anyways, I'm going to stay here for sure tomorrow and probably the next day. So I'll just be recording from here. And then when I start heading back, it's going to be pretty rough. I can believe, God, it's like 18 more hours and a couple more mountain ranges that I have to cross over. I think even Mount Shasta, which if I'm going to go to Mount Shasta, I kind of want to hang out there for a while and see it. So I don't know, maybe I won't even get home until the weekend. And then I'll get back in my regular routine, and I'll be able to tell more about like what's going on with Stella and even my own self. Just getting back into my own house and see like if my eyes are doing better. Is it the chemicals? Is there more towers here? Or are they just cranking them up in every place? Like, they're going after us. They're going to go after us hard. I think for the next few weeks. And my mom said there was a shooting again today, but nobody was injured. But, you know, hopefully there'll be more of those that'll be caught off. But I guess Joe is making big moves that he's he's got it through Congress and through the Senate or something. I don't know. He's got that he is in control of the military, which this could be the thing that's going to show everybody, and that he is going to put us all in martial law, because I can't imagine that the military is going to listen to anything that wackadoo says, especially when they already have a commander-in-chief. They already went through the whole thing. They already know who really is. Arizona's already saying that they are taking it away, you know? So it's just weird. I mean, mainstream media and this corporate world and, you know, the people who are running it, there's some sneaky motherfuckers. That's what I gotta say. So anyways, I will, you know, keep coming in. I'll come and talk tomorrow and talk some more about whatever is going on. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.